Hello everyone, my name is Kaylin King and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I tell interesting or scary stories that I find online or stories that you guys have submitted to me through my social media accounts or even through the Reddit page. I apologize for the gap between videos on this channel. Unfortunately, I did have to do a lot of assignments and then I got sick as well in between, so these past 2 weeks have not been fun, so I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm gonna try and aim to do 2 videos a week again. That is the aim, but yeah, I'd like the channel to return to normal, especially since my university stuff is coming towards a bit of an end, so it would be nice. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. It started 5 years ago when I bought my current house. I began having horrible episodes of sleep paralysis, so bad that I would dread sleeping every night. I would see hands crawl up and reach for me from the side of the bed, figures standing in the corner or at the end of my bed, and sometimes spiders crawling on my ceiling. I still get sleep paralysis occasionally, but nowhere near the amount that I was then. Minor things would happen around the house during this time that weren't necessarily explainable, but easily written off as me having poor sleep or a lot of stress. Fast forward to about 2 years ago. I have a big bookshelf in my living room that I consider one of my most prized possessions. My books are always in line and in the correct order. I'm super particular about them. When I would get home from work, a couple of books would be flipped upside down with the pages out rather than the spine. The light in my bedroom would be messed with too. I have it set so when I flip my switch the light stays off but the fan turns on to the full power setting. This would always be changed when I get home. The only way to change it is to pull the cord hanging from the fixture itself. Once I had friends over, we went outside of my house to chill and obviously left the door unlocked. Tried to go back inside, door was locked. Luckily that time I did happen to have my keys with me, as I grabbed them out of habit. Lately, things have been getting harder to ignore and write off. My boyfriend and I were sitting in the living room late at night watching TV. The lamp we had on started flickering really intensely. This never happened before with this light, and hasn't happened since. We were trying to get sleep a few weeks ago and heard my son talking through our bedroom door. Opened the door, no child there. He was sleeping in bed. He's too young to pull any prank like that. A few nights ago, in the shower, I heard my boyfriend talking to me. Voice clear as day, but due to the sound of water, I couldn't make out his words. Pulled the curtain back, wasn't him. I went to use the bathroom around 2 AM another night this week. Closed the door to keep the cats out, but right as I was about to get up and head back to bed, I heard a whistle on the other side of the door. No one was there. Asked my boyfriend if it was him, trying to fool me, and he was just as shaken as I was. I keep waking up with random bruising and scratches too. People come to my home and tell me they have feelings of being watched and not being alone. Friends of mine are afraid to come over. My cats watch empty areas of the room intently and run off like something scared them. I don't really know what to do at this point. I've spent the last 5 years ignoring it and coming up with some weak explanation for things that happen, but it seems to be happening more often as time goes on, and after this past week, I'm spooked. If anyone has any ideas or recommendations, let me know. Something about the closet in my room is weird. It's always cold. Even if it's 100 degrees outside, it's freezing in there. My parents said that it used to not be that way until after the various renters had moved out, and my family moved back and noticed it was that way. This happened to me when I was about 5 years old. I woke up from a sound sleep and immediately got out of my bed and walked to my closet. I opened my door and turned on the light switch, and I saw a black cat sitting on the floor, looking up at me. I was so surprised to see a cat in my closet because my family only had a dog at the time. I sat on the floor and started to pet it. The cat was meowing and purring while I pet it. I was super excited and poked my head out and called my parents saying, "There's a black cat in my closet, come quick." My parents came to see what I was talking about, but when I poked my head back in to show them, the cat was gone. I never saw the cat again, but several family members have also experienced paranormal things in that room. I've been babysitting for this family 2 years now. The kids are 2 girls. A is 10 and Y is 7. This happened around September last year. The family lived in the countryside with horses and a farm about a 5-minute walk away. There were other houses nearby too. On this particular night, it was a little rainy and Y was fast asleep while I was struggling getting A into her bed. It was around 10 p.m. and her mom was due back soon, so I was aware she'd be annoyed if she was still awake. A asked for a bedtime story. While I was happy to do so, she climbed into bed, and the family dog decided to join her and jumped up onto the bed too. Around 20 minutes later, A was getting pretty close to falling asleep when I heard the sound of the front door opening, followed by the inner boot room door opening too, which had a distinctive squeaking sound. I sighed, knowing that she was back, and A wasn't asleep, so she'd be annoyed with A. Although, when I checked my phone, I know she was 25 minutes early, which is strange of her. The dog instantly jumped off the bed and ran downstairs, barking, which in turn caused A to sit up and ask, "Is that Mummy?" I assured her it was okay and to lay back down, as I knew she was pretty much about to fall asleep, which she did. I got up and started walking out her room and across the landing to the stairs. Only the top of the stairs are visible from the area I was standing. Before I could make it to the top of the stairs, I heard the sound of the mum's voice, "Hello?" from the bottom of the stairs. She said it in a whisper, so I replied, whispering, "Hi." Although, when I got to the top of the stairs, I peered down and there was no one there. Just a weird silence/emptiness. I slowly walked down and looked around all the rooms, but with no sign of the mum or anyone of that matter. The door was still locked and the dog was now laying down by it. Trying not to freak out, I unlocked the door expecting to see a car or a neighbor, or something. But there was no one there. I even checked in on Y, but she was still asleep. I couldn't find a cause of all of this. No intruders, no TVs on, and no one was downstairs when it happened. The mum arrived 20 minutes after this, and I told her about what happened. She was shocked and a little scared, but assured me she hadn't come back early and left again like I convinced myself what happened. A thankfully didn't remember any of this the next morning, as I expected she was half asleep when she asked, "Is that Mummy?" I really just don't know what to think about this situation. Strange things have happened before here, random noises, footsteps, etc., but nothing as real and scary as this. Anyone have any thoughts? In 2020, at the beginning of COVID, I had just given birth. At this time, I could only have one other person in the room with me my entire stay at the hospital. Of course, my kid's father was there, but like the third day, he left to clean up a house and get everything prepared for me and the baby. I had gotten sick and had a C-section, so I had to stay for about 4 to 5 days. While he was away, a nurse named Kelly said she would be helping me throughout the day and spending time with me so I don't feel lonely while Dad is gone. I couldn't really hold my baby due to me being sick and the pain from the C-section, so my nurses would come in every time it was time to feed. I noticed when they came in, they wouldn't acknowledge Kelly, and she would go to the farthest part of the room and she would tell me, "I'm just gonna get out of the way." Now, she did tell me that she didn't specialize in what they did. She was just for comfort, so I didn't question anything. The entire day she was so helpful and encouraging me. I really believe I would have broken down if she wasn't in there with me. She was such a sweetheart. After about 5 or 6 hours, she told me she had to leave and that she would come visit me before her shift was over to see how I was doing. She hugged me and blew a kiss at my baby and walked out of the room. Later that night, Dad came back and he was very upset. He told me some stuff happened with his mom and that he was sorry he took so long. I was upset, but I told him a nurse named Kelly kept me company. As I'm telling him about her, my nurse is changing my sheets and she's like, "Who's Kelly?" I explained, and she said that nobody named Kelly was in my room or working that day. So I instantly thought about those women who would pretend to be nurses and kidnap children. But my nurse told me that I may be hallucinating, and she told my doctor. I talked to my doctor and he said the same thing. Well, a couple of hours later, a nurse that I didn't recognize came in my room and said, "I know this might sound crazy, but everyone on the floor is talking about you seeing Kelly." I said, "Yeah, she was here with me for like 7 hours today. She helped out a lot." Her smiling and laughing while I was telling her about Kelly and how sweet and funny she was. Then she pulled up her phone and showed me pictures of her and Kelly that looked like to be early 2000s. I was smiling knowing that I wasn't hallucinating. Then she sat down and told me Kelly died over 10 years ago from domestic violence from her boyfriend. I wasn't too shocked because my entire life I've been dealing with paranormal. But I got chills because I never had encountered this deep. Well, the lady gave me a hug and started crying, saying, "Now I know that she is okay." Since that day, I've been wondering, why did Kelly come in my room and help me? I kinda wish I could see her again. Driving around back roads past midnight on a full moon, blasting music, having a good night as usual for a good car ride. Going down the roads I've driven and examined more than 100 times. Long fields, far apart houses with driveways farther than need to be. Beautiful countryside boondocks. The definition of nowhere, before heading into a curvy wooded end of the stretch. There, a feeling that's approaching us within the car. On the left-hand side of the road, there's an assumed to be empty baby stroller. We all get goosebumps. My significant other in my passenger seat, and my roommate in the back seat. A moment passes and I get the nerve to ask if we all just seen that. We all did, and we're all very much weirded out. When beginning to discuss the topic, I begin to want to cry, and the scary feeling just intensifies. For all of us. We couldn't get the urge to go back. A very scary sight for the night. I'm a person who loves the thrill of the scare, but I'm still feeling bothered by the thought of what I'd seen tonight. Anyone know what kind of signs this could be? And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I apologize for my sickly, dead voice at the moment. I have been trying to take breaks in between stories, but yeah, it's been weird. Anyway, again, if you guys have any stories you'd like to share with me, you can contact me on my social media. There's even a Reddit page down in the description. It's empty, but I'm just not really, I wouldn't say in the mood or lazy. I just don't have the time to add my own stuff in so long. But I will get there one day. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Until next time, bye bye.